Shout out to all my new subscribers. Shout out to all my old subscribers. Shout out to the Dirty Nation for sure. This story right here. Man. See, a lot of times people will be telling stories like, they might be in a prison genre, so they can kind of stick to prison stories. When something happened when I did an interview with Jay Williams. Like, we started talking about my childhood. Everybody would like to think that they was winners when they was telling their childhood. Like, they only tell the stories when they was victorious. We don't want to talk about the times we went and played another high school and got whooped 55-0. We don't want to tell the time when the white boy clipped our chin and punched us into another week. I definitely didn't want to tell the story where I got beat up by a girl. Shit happens. This story right here, this is a story from my childhood. It's a classic. It's from my childhood about a guy named Micheal. It's not his real name, but his name is Micheal. So once upon I'm gonna try to tell it in fast forward. So I lived in this place called Quincy, California. But we were moving back to Sacramento. And in my young mind, I used to steal bikes when I was young. It's no mystery. But I decided to steal a bike from Quincy. And Quincy is it's people up there with money. So you just don't see a GT Tequista on the side of a pizza store. You don't see that. However, leaving Quincy, I did. If you think I didn't snatch that GT up, you crazy. Snatched that motherfucker up, threw it in a U-Haul, and was gone to Sacramento. Now, this is a summer, 1994. Selly Cell was out. MCA was out. Spice One, America's Most was out. Be Legit, The Savage was out. SIBO, The Autopsy, and Bone Thugs, the first album. Well, allegedly the first album. They had one called Faces of Death, but that's besides the point. But anyhow, so I got this GT mountain bike in the hood. I'm clowning. I got the hardest bike in the hood right now. A GT Tequista mountain bike. You have to learn how to see envy in people's eyes. You gotta learn to read it, because I didn't read it on Mike. I thought he was my friend. Promise you. We hung out damn near the majority of half the summer. So one day we decide we're gonna break into a house. So we break into this house. Make a long story short, we all shot out. It was about 5-6 of us. We shot out the garage because we heard a noise. I had my GT mountain bike and a tub of ice cream. Yes, a tub of ice cream. I rode my bike all the way home. Because it was a mad scale, it was a mad dash. Everybody running. What I'm going to hang out for? So I go all the way home, drop the ice cream off, come back. But when I come back, I could feel something in the air like wasn't right. I could feel it. All of a sudden I hear, yep, there we go. Next thing you know, they jump me. I get jumped by little Marcus, rest in peace. Marcus Gallo, rest in peace. And Micheal. They ain't jumping me back because I'm able to kind of like, throw them off of me and shit. But they literally jumping me. So the thing is, they saying I left them. Oh shit. I left y'all, but it was a mad dash. So we agreed. I'm gonna go home and get this ice cream and bring it back. Y'all gonna have that shit. I don't want nothing to do with this shit. I'm gonna tell you how this shit worked. My uncle knew what time it was and was like, "Boy, you need this?" I was like, "Nah, I don't." But shit, best believe I had the option to wake something up. But I went back thinking I'm gonna do the right thing and give them their ice cream. Man, that motherfuckers must have jumped me again. Except this time, they took my bike. Jumped me and took my bike. To where I had no choice. I had no choice. Gave it up. They got me. Mind you, I'm like 14 at this time. So my auntie, some of y'all that's in the Dirty Nation know my auntie, gangsta auntie. She be around all the time. Man, she was having a yard sale on the other side of Meadowview. I lived on one side of Meadowview. She lived on the other side, which is a community in Sacramento. I decided to leave her yard sale a little early. Just leave it early and walk home. What you know, when I got around the corner from her house on 68th, what you know, my GT well, see, that's where I messed up. I mean, I took it. So I guess I was the owner of it at the time. But my GT was sitting right there on the curve, tipped over, wheels still spinning, just sitting there. Just sitting there. I don't know how this bike just materialized. I could have took any road home, any road, but I took this road. And I could see a bike on its side from a distance, but as I got closer, I realized it was the GT. But where's Micheal? Where's Micheal? The guy that took it. Where he at? He wasn't nowhere to brown the bike. So me, like, this is a godsend. So I go up the street. I have the OG have his son jump in the car and ride on the side of me, and I rode the bike home. So here's where it gets funky. I get home early one day. I'm waiting for my mom to get home, so I'm sitting on the porch waiting on moms, cause I ain't got no friends anyway. You know, I done got jumped to shit. So anyhow, I'm walking down the street. I walk to the curve and I see about 9 dudes coming up the street. 9 dudes. They couldn't possibly bleed for me. So I go back to the porch. I go back to the street. These 9 dudes is getting closer. All of a sudden, I recognize him. It's Micheal. And he got friends. And they're coming to do harm to me over this bike. So he politely tells me, where my bike at? This nigga said, where's my bike? Look, he had about 9 motherfuckers with him. I said it ain't here. It's over Whoop-de-Whoop's house. Whoop-de-Whoop. Made it up. Made it up. He said, and he had a pole. He had like a little pole in his hand. Slapping his hand like a billy club. Just slapping his hand. I ain't got shit. Mind you, it's 9 niggas. So he say, well, let's walk to Whoop-de-Whoop house and go get my bike back. What I'm not knowing is that he had got, him and somebody else got bust on by a crib in broad daylight, and they had to jump off the bike and run. That's why the bike was there in broad daylight. So now he, like, since it was his and he procured it from me, he coming to get his bike back. And he got his partners with me ready to do damage. Only thing is, a couple of these dudes is my partner. So I know they not gonna do nothing, but they coming they coming, and I ain't sure about none of these niggas. Man, look. Right when we was starting to walk to Whoop-de-Whoop's house, my mom bent the corner, Boom. In my grandma's caddy. I'll never forget. Gangsta auntie was in the passenger seat. Soon as the car come, I walk up to the car like, "Oh, mama, open the door." She was like, "You can go play with your friends." I was like, "No, mama, open the door." She said, "You can play. It's okay. It's okay." I'm like, "Mama, open the door." And then while the partners, I mean, not my partners, but the niggas over there going, "Come on, Kurt. Come on. She said you could come play. Come on." I'm like, Next thing you know, gangsta auntie jump out the car like I beat all y'all ass. Who won it first? He do what the fuck he want to do. Who won it first? While she postured up, shit, I got the fuck in the car. Got the fuck in the car. Reality of it, the situation is that night my mom had a nervous breakdown. My mom had a nervous breakdown because she didn't realize it right then, but when she thought about it, she realized that they was about to do some harm to me. I might not have came back home. So fast forward. You think the story would end there. Fast forward. I'm in girls' school. They give me a celly. I mean, they walk up. I mean, the first cell I walk into, what you know, Michael was my celly. Michael was my celly. He was a changed person. And we got along well. And I got to know him and realized he'd been through a lot. But shouts out to Michael if you know who you are. And I hope you appreciate the story. It might have been a little long, drawn out for some of y'all. But I'm seeking to, break old habits and get back to it. Because the thing is that Jay Williams opened the whole part of my life I kept private. Like, I never really talked about my childhood like that. Because I didn't never want my childhood to appear like I was bragging or something. Like, I don't ever want to appear like a bragger because my childhood was so toe up. Like, my childhood, I wasn't thinking straight. So by talking about it, I'm glorifying the years I wasn't thinking straight. But I will say there's still gems in there. There's gems through my experience. Like, there's gems through my experience that other people can learn from. Just gotta be transparent with it. That's all. Alright, man, I'm out of here, man. Hopefully, I got more stories coming for y'all, man. Salute, salute. And I want to give a shout out to all the people that's working to get $1. Shouts to y'all. Go.